I represent Best Garden at a Peckham Forum. I'm also a board member of SGTO. Karen, I have lived within the tenant movement for a very, very long time, since it was decentralized in 1991. I'm one of the very few surviving tenants when it was decentralized. So I'm well versed with all the structures. So I don't want to go into the rationale, the objectives why there's a structure. I'm going to come to the point. First, the problems we have as tenants. The council does not listen to tenants. Decisions are made top-down rather than bottom-up. This is the reason why we complain. We actually complain to the council. So therefore, your report, there is nothing there that has addressed that. How you're going to be listening to tenants and residents. What would the Englishman call accountability, all right? You need to address that. The second point, the abolition of neighborhood forums. Now before the neighborhood forums, the tenants, you use the phrase, you're going to support tenants and residents and empower them. How? Let me tell you, when they were decentralized, the housing department, you have community development. Now, I can't see how you're going to rectify that without having community development or involve SGTO. That's my own personal view, because I believe as a tenant federation, our federation should have answer into the survival of the tenant movement, tenant and residential association. So my suggestion to you on that, the definition of the empowerment and support of tenants involve SGTO and community development. It needs to be in the report. That's one.
Yeah.
Two, you said you're going to abolish neighborhood forums. Now, neighborhood forums are very unique. Unique in the sense as accountability, transparency. Let me tell you what does that mean. Now, you see, as I come to this meeting, I'm not representing myself. I'm representing my TA. I'll go there and report. I represent my forum. I'll go there and report. I represent the board of SGTO. I'll go there and report. That's accountability. So I cannot just come to meetings because I feel like coming to meetings.
Yeah.
Now, what you're proposing doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. So it shows how you're going to have accountability and transparency, like the example I just gave you. Okay? It's very important. This is the reason why some of us never agreed to community council, because it is very loose, very undemocratic, nobody's accountable, there's no transparency.
Yeah.
You understand? That's why I never attended that, because it's a complete waste of time. You understand? So what you need to do, you listen to tenants. Tell us in the report how you're going to be listening to tenants. You develop a policy of bottom up rather than top down. Very important, okay? Now, if you want to improve ward council, whatever you want to call them, how people are going to be elected? How am I going to be elected? Tell me. Because if I'm going to be elected, I want to be accountable to whoever elects me.
Yes.
But if somebody just comes from the street,
Exactly.
you understand?
Yes.
Who is a freehold, or maybe got on private property, come to attend that meeting.
Yeah.
Who is she or she accountable to? Just keep everything to himself. Now, I've been involved for over 40 years, and this is the knowledge. The reason that keeps us, we want to impart it to young people like my friend who is very close to me here. This is the reason why people like Chris and others, who people have done very good job, you understand? Now, we want to transfer that knowledge.
Yes.
So, there is no compatibility between what is existing. Okay, the reason why forums are having problems, I can tell you one thing. Forums are having problems is because the councillors don't listen. Yes, they don't take on board the concerns.
Yeah.
I was involved in the regeneration of the Elephant Castle. I don't want to tell you what some of us went through. Now, the reason why they're rocking them, because I've lived there for 35 years. They're never able to touch it. Anytime they want to do it, even though I don't live there anymore, I've got information, how it started, I will go there. They're not going to touch it at all. Believe me, if they try, you're going to have a problem. So, how are you going to rectify the forums? Don't abolish the forums. If you want, you expand the forums. As long as there's accountability, that's the key thing.
Yeah.
You understand? If you want to expand it, ask us how you can do that. You understand? But if you remove it, you bring in the word, whatever you want to call it, it's going to be very undemocratic.
Exactly.
It's going to be so loose. Topics are, because right now we can hold you to account, even if you don't listen to us. You see, that's why we're having this. We're having these meetings. But if it's a loose one, I don't care, I wouldn't come. Because even if I come, I just come for myself, maybe just to come and drink tea or coffee or biscuit. So that's very dangerous. Now, that's where people should represent to homeowners council and tenant council. If you could have a strategic body, there must be that chain. If you remove it there, that's not democracy. Accountability, your mantras will be accountability and transparency. We want to be accountable to the tenants and residents. Believe me, each and every one of us here, we are representing the views of tenants and residents. I was one of the first persons who received the Civic Award in 1996 for the good work, and I was nominated by a life president of SGTO, who was passed away a long time ago, Bill Westcott. I've also received what is just a Civic Award. Now, I don't get all these things, I'm not paid, but these are valuable things for the work we do. You understand? It's very, very important to spend all our time. So therefore, do not abolish the forums. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because I can see politically why you want to bring the world thing, but it's not going to benefit us. It's for your own interest. That's what the difference is. So what you need to find, reconcile something that will benefit you and will benefit us. Because at the end of the day, believe you me, you have more control politically when you have a structure that is accountable and transparent.
Absolutely.
You understand? I also disclose to you, I'm a politician. No, I am. I have to declare my interest. You understand? Therefore, listen to us as politicians as well. We have two parts. One as a tenant, one as a politician.
Yeah.
Now, the money.
1 minute.
Thank you very much. Chair, the money. Now, I can see how you're going to make provision. You exclude SGTO. I just don't see any reason why. And you're SGTO, but you're retaining the council officers who the fund is paid. We don't want that. Exactly. If I got my way, transfer those duties and responsibilities to SGTO and transfer the money there.
Yes.
It makes more sense in my own view. It makes more sense. You know, that time, SGTO will be accountable to the tenants and residents. I am a board member there. If SGTO don't do the right thing, I'll fight them. So remove the council. Don't take our money and pay your officers. SGTO can do training. They can do everything. The provision is there. So I'm suggesting to you now, Munu, just put there on the Munu. Transfer those facilities to SGTO. Transfer the training to SGTO. You understand? And then when you should be negotiating with SGTO, funding. If you say, okay, we don't want to increase your funding, give us the power to be able to ask for funding or elsewhere.
Exactly.
We don't have no problem with that. But as long as we're able to maintain it. So don't remove SGTO funding. Let we the tenant decide. Thank you very much.